What is up, everybody? It is your boy, Frill Shocker, the 96 Hedgehog, here with our LCL. No, not that. I'm stupid. With our Sunset Showdown draft recap. Ignore the Gen 8 dropping thing. Ignore that. But we're here for another draft league analysis for you guys. I know I keep spamming you guys with draft league content, but hey, that's what my channel is at times mostly about. I'm going to try to keep diversifying it, but I just can't help but get into draft leagues. But nonetheless, guys, if you're excited for another draft analysis, leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to join the Frill Shocker crew today because you be relevant, the king of the crew. So, looking at our team, it's going to be very interesting. I'm doing Sunset. I've never done Sunset before, so I'm actually excited to try another league. There's a couple of people I've played before, so I get to play against some other people, like Revan. And fun fact, I get to face Revan week 1. So pretty much for 2 weeks, I faced Revan 3 times, a third time in a row. Yeah. But anyways, you guys, didn't know, this is a new league I've done, obviously. It's gonna be the standard, Nat decks and everything like that with the powers and everything like that. But, so, it's 12 teams, there was 3 divisions. We were in, I think, also ignore the cat in the background, that's my cat. I don't know if this was the second lowest or the lowest, I don't remember, but we're in any type of format nonetheless. But, so originally we had the 12th pick, which was the wheel. But then after, I believe, one coach just dropped right when we were starting that. They had to re-randomize after they added the new person in. And then I got the 11th pick, so I didn't even get a better spot. Now, normally bottom wheel is not terrible. But like if it's 8-man format, that's like the premier spot you really want. If it's 12-man, it's okay. But if it's something like 16, 20, or 24, then it's just not terrible, but it's just like you're getting crushed. But I think we walked away with a powerhouse team, as you can kind of somewhat see already. But nonetheless, I'm excited to go into this. So I had pick number 11, and there was a lot that was done. There was 110 points, and I won't lie, my first 4 picks really crippled my budget a bit. And I think for what I had to budget out with, I think I walked away with pretty good stuff. So let's get over to my first pick. And my first pick, surprisingly enough, able to make it to me, is the Crusader himself, Mega Gallade. And honestly, guys, I'm really kind of not okay. Blah, blah, blah. I guess I can't fully say I'm surprised Mega Gallade lasts to me because there are things like the Gala Bird, like there's something like Gala Zapdos, Lando T, Torn. Like there's a lot of stellar, amazing options on there. But I still think like Gallade was one of those that was top tier picks in my opinion. Should have gone like within the top 6 or 7 picks. But imaginably enough, made it to me round 11, round 1 at pick 11, which is really cool. Mega Gallade, for those who don't remember, one of my runs. I don't know if it was on this channel or it was on my previous channel, but I want to I run my first official because my first championship was just one where I won because of a technicality. But the one championship I did win based off of actually battling, Gallade was on that team. And Gallade, in my honest opinion, is such a fantastic Pokemon. Base 165 attack. You tell me there's nothing that doesn't want to get smacked up by that. This is a fantastic Pokemon. It's actually a relatively good, especially defensive Pokemon, and just a defensive Pokemon nonetheless as well. This thing has such really good offense. This is really great. Again, this is something where makes Mega Medicham, where it makes everyone already says that probably Mega Medicham is a little bit of a better of a fighting type because of pure power. The one thing that Gallade has over Medicham though, it gets access to Shadow Sneak and Knockoff, which means it gets access to Dark and Ghost coverage where Medicham doesn't. Where I think makes Mega Gallade a much more better psychic fighting type to use. Again, for also the speed of 110 and just the pure offense that Gallade provides. Gallade's got a lot of utilities and everything like that. I overall just love Gallade. Swords Dance Bulk Up, just pure offensive. Sub is just super good. And I also got a little bit of tech ideas with Wish. Excuse me. And I just overall really love Gallade. Gallade was my first ever real Mega that I brought to a championship. And honestly, I feel so happy to have used this game. I've been wanting forever to use this thing. Now, I would have used this in WWC for Season 5, But yeah, we kind of saw it happen there. That didn't actually happen. But I'm so happy to have Mega Gallade again, and I'm really looking forward to trying him out again. And on my basic little wheel pick, I don't know how this lasted to me this long, but I got Celesteela that we're gonna name the Tilted Towers. It's basically a reference off of Snapcube. If you haven't checked out her channel, where her and her friends do these fandoms with the characters and everything, I recommend it because you'll get the joke on that. But we have Celesteela, the Tilted Towers here. I actually did not think Celesteela was gonna make it towards me. I was thinking about trying Celesteela because I haven't really used it in Draft League at all. I've used it like a brief period, but other than that, I haven't really used it at all. But overall, I really love this Pokemon. This Pokemon is super, super good. Very much diversity as a physical attacker, special attacker, physically defensive wall, special defensive wall, mixed offensive. Like, there's so many cool, unique sets with this thing. And with the access to Meteor Beam, this thing can now actually get 2 stat boosts. One from the normal boost of Meteor Beam, and 2 getting the one from the stat you raise. So I can make Celesteela a mon that can get a +1 special attack, but its beast boost going to defense or spadef or even attack. Like, this thing is just super versatile. It's a really good mon, and I ultimately felt like this was the perfect pairing between Celesteela and Mega Gallade. Like, you look at what Mega Gallade is weak to, which is primarily always going to be the psychic. It was going to be the flying types and the fairy types. What does Celesteela resist? Fairy and flying. The only thing it doesn't resist is the ghost, obviously. But oh my god, excuse me, guys. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. But I ultimately love Celesteela. I'm looking forward to trying it out, and really excited. And I think again, this was probably the best pairing I think has ever been on my team before. So going into the third and fourth rounds, I don't think I was really sniped on anything potentially. I was sad that Dracovish went. I would have loved to have my little boy, a Dracovish boy. But there was a pairing that I can't believe made it to me. So with my third pick, though, I picked up Thundurus T. I have only used Thundurus T, I think, one time in my entire Draft League career. And that was only when I believe I took over. I actually know that might not have been the league then. I might have to faced it, probably. Yes, I think I actually faced. So I don't think I've actually really drafted Thundurus T before. And this has been a Pokemon that it screams to me, doesn't it? It screams speed, screams setup, it screams awesomeness. And this also gives me a mon that can play mix. It can play pure special, mix, pure physical if I want to throw people off. And there's also some unique kind of defensive utilities with this Pokemon. We're running Heavy Boots as a defogger. And this is a mon that can reliably be a defogger for me if I so desire it to be. Just for the fact that it is a mon that cannot care about the hazards. Again, it only cares about is just Stealth Rocks. Heavy Duty Boots fixes that. And if I want to remove any potential hazards I think would be a problem, I just run Defog as a move that I don't need anything else with. So ultimately, yes, it's a secondary flying type, but if you really think about it, they don't really share the same weaknesses. Like Celesteela is weak to electric, that's covered by Thundurus. Thundurus does not really care about rock types. Celesteela is neutral and beats those, and plus I have a Gallade in the back. And you look at ice types, once again, I have a. Oh my god, why can I not stop yawning? I've got my fighting type and I have a steel type that's neutral. Like, there's so much that's really great pairing so far with this team. And it just gives me that special wall breaker that I really, really was going to want. And just gave me a good speed. But as you can tell, we keep the trend of speed and power continuing as with my third pick, with my fourth pick. Yes, my fourth pick. We got Spectrier. Now, if everyone remembers my PSBA draft recap video, which may or may have not gone up already, I talked about how we didn't get to finish the league and I had Spectrier. I want to at least use the league where I can have Spectrier, and I think this is definitely going to be the league that Spectrier puts in the absolute most work. And I think when you look so far at my coverage, Spectrier does not like bulky darks or normal types. I just grabbed one of the best breakers in bulky darks and water types, normal types, and that was with good old Gallade, and I think, and then you look at the contrast to these four pairs. You got such a madhouse of offense that you have to try to counter. And I just ultimately really think that Spectre fit this team really well. Spectre is going to be primarily one of those models I can run choice scraps with, get choice specs abuser, and you look at the speed tier between that to Gallade and then my Thunderous. I think the speed tiers look relatively good. We don't get anything probably at base 100 or lowered or in between the 115 really and the and the other speed tiers, but ultimately I thought like Spectre was just a really solid fit for the team, and I just overall I'm really excited to try it. So at this point, I've wasted over pretty much half my budget, and I have to really budget out to get these last picks, because I have to get at least a maximum of 10 Pokemon, but I ultimately maxed out at 11. And I could have finished out at 10, but I ultimately want, because I had to go for what I had to get value-wise, I wouldn't want to what I did. So, with my next wheel pick, I had to start getting removal, because technically right now I only have one Defogger, so I decided to pick up a spinner. I picked up Blastoise, aka Leo. I have used Blastoise a couple of times. I think I only used it twice. Once in the GADL, and we all saw how that train wreck went. And then the one league, which you guys never saw, was a UU and below league, where they allowed Shell Smash, and Blastoise was on that championship team. This is a Pokemon that can play offense and defense so perfectly well. It's a good Assault Vest user. It's a really good Water Spout abuser. It's actually a decently good Choice Scarf and Choice Specs abuser as well. This is just a Pokemon that I think has a lot of versatility from being defensive or offensive, or even trying to play both. I doesn't think it's one of those Pokemon that puts a lot of good offense and uniqueness to it. That overall, excuse me, it's just a really solidly good Pokemon, and I definitely think it's worth trying again. Hopefully, third time's the charm with Blastoise. I can go 2 for 2. Hopefully, go 2-1 with it instead of going 1-2 with it. And well, in the next basic pair of my wheel here, I paired it with Roserade. Now we are using Roserade in our GBL, but I haven't used Roserade a lot. And after the good success we actually had with Roserade, I want to give Roserade one more go. I really think Roserade's a really great Pokemon. Yes, my team is screaming more special than it is physical, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, though. Because more times you don't want your physical attackers to be crippled or targeted as much because of things like Will-O-Wisp and stuff. But this is one of those instances where I have natural cure. I don't care about being status. The only thing I can't be status is sleep, so I have to be very careful while I'm on that. But I can soak up burns, I can soak up paras, I can soak up, well, not exactly toxic unless it's from a Salazzle, but overall, this is just a Pokemon that I think is a really good grass type. It's a really good poison type, and it was something I really needed for those fairy types. I know I already have a steel type, but I need something for those pesky fairies still, because some fairies get access to mystical fire, which could be a little bit of a problem for most times or not. But this is definitely one of those Pokemon where I really think Roserade benefits this team. It also really supports the team with spikes and toxic spikes, which is very important right there. All I really need to do is pick up a really good Stealth Rocker or two, and then we can really kind of mess around with people with the way we can just hazard stack against them, and force them to remove the hazards versus the hazards coming on my side. With my next wheel, I went and started off with Regidrago. I don't care what people say about this Pokemon. I love this Pokemon. It's a fantastically good Reggie. Again, if the fairy type is not there and is beaten down, Regidrago goes in. Regidrago is one of those Reggies that is just super annoyingly bulky for the fact that it's got so much base stat of 200. Its defenses, yes, are not really the greatest, and they're not the best. But what makes Regidrago so good is that a Pokemon that can play physical or special. It's a Pokemon that really kind of just offers a lot of uniqueness to it and can just really do a lot of beneficial work. It's also a relatively good screen setter as well. This is just a Pokemon that can play both special and physical with Dragon Dance, and I just really think this has just gonna be one of those Pokemon that I think can put a lot of work in. Obviously, depending on the fairy type, but if we can move around it, then that's good there. And to pair with that, I went and grabbed Lumpy, my Rhydon. Now, everyone remembers APA season 5, which was last season. I'm pretty sure we had Rhydon, or no, we didn't. It was no, it was season 4. It was season 4 because we did terrible that season. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was season 4. I think, or was it? I don't remember. I think I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was season 4. But nonetheless, we had Rhydon on that team, and Rhydon actually was a lot of fun to use. Rhydon put in so much good work that we needed it to do, and Rhydon came in the clutch at some points and picked up KOs against things like Shinotag, which is not impressive, it's a grass type. Picked up a KO against Gyarados. Like, this was a Pokemon that was so good, so much fun, and I think the fact that it gives me a second lightning immunity does give me Rockhead, which I don't think it can really take advantage of as much, but it just gave me a Pokemon that can just do so much. For perfect Eviolite user, this thing has just naturally good defenses. Obviously, most times on not, it has to be like a max HP, max Spadev with Eviolite with a careful boosted nature, but it's still a Pokemon that can provide so much offense and so much defense. It also gave me a Rocker, which was really good as well, and just gave me a lot of good and unique bulk that I really wanted as well. Going on to my next wheel, I went and scooped up Centiskorch. Now, I haven't really used Centiskorch in Draft League at all, really, but I'm actually excited. I have always been wanting to try Centiskorch. Centiskorch has just been one of those Pokemon that is very unique. It's a fire immunity, which is very important. However, there's actually a couple of good things about it as well. There's access to Flame Body, which is really good, and also access to White Smoke, which means that this Pokemon can never, like, when it comes to Sticky Webs cannot lower my speed. When it comes to Intimidate, I cannot have my Intimidate drop, my stats drop. There's a lot of good uniqueness to the diversity that Centiskorch has. There's Coil sets, there's Choice Scarf sets, there's Choice Banded sets. Arguably, there could be Choice Spec sets because this thing has decent special attack. It's a relatively decently good bulky fire and bug type, which is really unique to itself in that type of manner. But overall, I definitely think Centiskorch is a really good Pokemon. And yes, we are naming it Hot Sauce because that's what I named it in my playthrough. I don't know why I named it Hot Sauce, but we're just going to go with it, okay? But I'm really excited to try Centiskorch. And to pair Centiskorch, I picked up Granbull. Now, Granbull actually was on that one team I did tell you about how I had a technical win and gave me my first championship. And Granbull was on that team, and Granbull actually put in some really good work. Granbull is a really good supporter in some ways. For the fact that, for one, Granbull gives me an Intimidate user, and it also gives me a Fairy type, a really strong Fairy type as well. Did pick me up another physical attacker, which I really need for this team as well. But as one of those Pokemon that provides a status trap because of Quick Feet. Now, what does status trapping mean? Basically, it's one of those points where I can trap him to the point where if I can actually get status like Thunder Wave or Toxic, it's of benefit to me than for them because then things like my speed doubles, which is really good. And so, like, it's, again, if I'm paralyzed, I ignore paralyzation and I get my speed. I almost get like a Choice Scarf in some ways with my speed, and I can run an item. It's where something like Toxic Orb or something like that, potentially Flame Orb if you're going to run full like Facade sets over a Fairy Stab and everything like that. And it also gets access to Rattle, which is not exactly the best thing, but basically my speed will get raised. So basically, in terms, Granbull can use its speed advantage, which is even though it's base 45, can be used to advantage itself going against Dark types, Ghost types, or any other of those Pokemon. And overall, I think Granbull just provided a really good Pokemon. We are naming it Marlowe because after one of my old dogs I used to have, he no longer is with us because my mom and dad had to give him away, so I don't know about him right now. But overall, I just really, really love Granbull. I'm really excited to try Granbull again, and hopefully he can bring me a second championship. And with my last pick, I went and scooped up Sableye Esmeralda. Sableye, I don't have much to talk about. It's just pretty much a prankster user. I could have went for a 3 and a 2 and gotten 12 points, 12 mons instead of just 11. Because I could have probably had gotten my 10th mon. Because I'm pretty sure Granbull was, I think it was 6 or 5. So I could have maybe gotten something a little bit better. But who knows, you know? But anyways, that's going to be it for the team, guys. If you like, haven't already, subscribe. If you're new, join the Frillshocker crew today because you'll be feeling with the king of the crew. But until next time, guys, I am Frillshocker, the nicest hedgehog, and I will see you guys for when week 1 starts. Until next time, guys, peace.